Making money is not a thing you do, it's a skill you learn. The three big ones in life are wealth, health, and happiness. We pursue them in that order, but their importance is reversed. We constantly walk around thinking I need this or I need that, trapped in the web of desires. Happiness is the state when nothing is missing. These are some of the quotes, or should I say tweets, since this book is a collection of tweets and wisdom shared in a more insightful way of an Indian-American entrepreneur, philosopher, and angel investor who invested in the early stages of Uber, Twitter, Notion, and Wish. His name is Naval Ravikant. What's up guys, welcome back to my channel, and today we are gonna talk about the Almanack of Naval Ravikant, main ideas, and I hope to convince you to grab a copy and read it for yourself. So without further ado, let's begin. Lesson number 1. Seek wealth, not money or status. There is essentially two games in our lives: the status game and the wealth game. Status is basically your rank in the social hierarchy. Most people buy things that they can even afford, usually using debt to buy designer clothes, sports cars, and big mansions, just to impress others that they don't even care in order to elevate their social hierarchy. That is, in summary, the status game. Most of the players just want more stuff, they're greedy, so the status game has no end. Just pause a minute and think about in your life how many people, as soon as they get the paycheck, they are already spending it for expensive things that they could have gotten cheaper, but they bought it just because of the brand.
Desire is a contract you make with yourself to be unhappy until you get what you want.
To be clear, I'm not saying that you should never buy luxury items and never enjoy your life. I personally own them too, and I'm not an alien. It's just that, in my opinion, people shouldn't use the majority of their budget to attempt to look wealthy, instead of using it to learn and to build actual wealth. However, what is exactly wealth? According to Naval, wealth is assets that earn while you sleep. Wealth is freedom. Free of not being obligated to wake up every morning at 7 a.m. to wear a suit to go to work. Free from being someone who is under someone else and being told to do things. Money is just the means to get there. You can use money stupidly to play the status game, or you can actually use it to gain freedom. Play stupid games and earn stupid prizes. Okay, now I get it, I know. Harvey, great explanation, but how do you actually become wealthy? Lesson number 2, find a position of leverage. Before actually going through lesson number 2, I would gladly invite you to leave a comment down below if you are interested in what we are discussing. Of course, you're not forced to agree 100% of what I said in this video and from this book. So it will be interesting if you leave down a comment down below and we can discuss it with other viewers. So back to the video. Humans evolved from a low leverage society into a more cooperative, technological, and productive society. For example, when chopping wood and transporting water from the nearest river to your house, you would know that putting X amount of input, like hours or effort, would strictly be correlated with the output of how many liters of water or how many woods you get. However, now we live in an age of infinite leverage. Okay, for example, if you work as a chef and you put X amount of hours in the kitchen, is strictly correlated with the X amount of salary. But if the chef wants to find a position of leverage, it could be for him to make YouTube videos about his recipe. The X amount of hours he put in to make the video is not strictly correlated with the X amount of profit he will make to make this video. Other position of leverage for the chef will be make live streams of his recipes, so on Twitch, or write a book and publish it about his recipes, or simply by creating online courses. There is endless amount of possibilities. There are 3 forms of leverage. The first one is labor, people working for you. The second one is money, so capital. Usually is debt or equity. And last the most recent form of leverage, products with no marginal cost of replication. This includes books, media, coding, podcasts, movies. Usually, to find a position of leverage, you should open up your own business. However, it's not always the case. Not everyone wants to be an entrepreneur. So the next lesson is you won't get wealthy renting out your time. Lesson number 3. Even doctors and lawyers who are charging enormous amount of money for their time are not gonna become wealthy because their income is mostly tied to the time that they are renting out and the effort that they put in. Plus, if they play the status game, they'll buy fancy cars, big mansions, and maybe they'll send their child into a private school. Their lifestyle is so highly inflated that they might not be able to retire. Usually, rich doctors or lawyers open up their own practices or studies. You want to find a career that has a disconnection between the inputs and the outputs. Sales jobs are a great example, or like real estate agents. It cannot be necessarily the best job, but for example, if you get 10% of the house that you're selling and you sell a $1 million house, you'll get $100,000 just by selling one property. Usually these jobs are really crowded and people can't even manage to sell a $100,000 condo. Therefore, lesson number 4, you want to own equity. Look, if you want to become wealthy, you have to create and own your own business. Or you just can't own a piece of business, which is, we can define it as equity. You want to work a job up till a point where you can own a piece of the business that you are working on, which basically means you want to work in a company, in a firm that will give you as compensation shares. Without owning equity, it is difficult to become wealthy. But usually real wealth is created by creating your own business. Or if you don't think that you can do neither of these two that I previously mentioned, you can just start investing. If you're interested in investing, just leave a comment down below and maybe I will do a video later on. I can show you the books that I read that helped me to start investing. Lesson number 5, happiness is a choice you make and a skill you learn. What makes this book so interesting is that it doesn't talk only about personal finance, but meaning of life, happiness, and philosophy in general. Like Naval said during the podcast with Joe Rogan, which I highly recommend to watch it, he said that at first it is weird when you combine two different things. Like for Bruce Lee, it was martial arts with philosophy, and now Naval Ravikant is trying to put personal finance and philosophy all together. Happiness is a state when nothing is missing. Only a small percentage of your brain is actually paying attention or present. The rest is either regretting the past or planning for the future. You can literally destroy your happiness if you spend all of your time living in the delusion of the future. The mistake that we make is the promise we make to ourselves that happiness belongs to when we reach a specific goal or we own a certain object. Confucius said that we have 2 lives and the second one starts when you realize that you just have one. So does money buy happiness? According to Naval, money just solves your money problems. Learn to live without it and you'll live an amazing life even with it. So guys, this video ends here, but I got a challenge for you, okay? I'm gonna challenge you to not highlight a single word. Yes, a single word of this book when you read it, which is literally impossible, but this book is filled with so many amazing quotes that I will personally highlight all the words of the book. If you fail this challenge, please subscribe and leave a comment down below, and I will know to make more content like this. I hope that you guys liked it and I hope to have inspired you to continue with your path. So let's see each other in the next video.